It's hard to prove that you're innocent, that you didn't do something.
I am not what they say I am.
After 4 long years, the Italian courts have at last believed her.
Fixated, according to the defense, on Amanda Knox and Raffaele Sollecito.
Whether this is about the law or whether this is about politics and saving face.
I really want this to be behind me. I need this. I don't know how long I can defend myself.
Tonight, Amanda Knox in New York City firing back against an Italian court's latest guilty verdict, breaking down emotionally on ABC's Good Morning America, telling the world she will not go back to Italy to serve time or for any reason, vowing to fight forever if she has to.
I'm going through waves of emotion in response to it. My first reaction was, no, this is wrong, and I'm going to do everything I can to prove that it is. And I felt very determined, and my family felt very determined. But it was only on my way here that I really got my first cry. This really has hit me like a train. I did not expect this to happen. I really expected so much better from the Italian justice system. They found me innocent before. How can they say that it's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt? I will never go willingly back to the place where I'm going to fight this until the very end.
The woman some call Foxy Knoxy has insisted she did not kill her roommate Meredith Kircher while they were studying abroad in Italy, but she was found guilty of murder yesterday for the second time. Now, it's complicated. After the first guilty verdict came down, Amanda appealed, and she was found not guilty. But then the Italian judicial system says, let's retry her. And then they find her guilty. We can't do that here in America. That would be called double jeopardy. Italian prosecutors accuse Amanda of essentially trying to force this young woman, Meredith, to take part in some drug-fueled satanic sex game, an orgy. And when she refused, prosecutors claim Amanda slit her throat as her Italian boyfriend, Raffaele Sollecito, and another man held her down and sexually abused her. You know, I got to go to Joey Jackson. She's saying that she will fight to the end. What does she do next to fight this?
You know what happens, Jane? There's going to be a period of time where she does nothing because it'll take 90 days in order for the judges to release their report regarding why they found her guilty. Thereafter, there's another 90-day period where her lawyers file, and they file an appeal, which we certainly expect. Thereafter, it could take certainly upwards of a year or more for a court to evaluate the case anew and make a decision. And that decision could be acquittal. And so, therefore, this could be all for naught. In the event, however, Jane, that they don't acquit and they convict, I think she never goes back to Italy at all. I think the United States is a good faith basis to avoid extradition on the basis of A, double jeopardy, and 2, Article 10, that says if there's not reasonable cause to believe that offense was committed, you don't have to be extradited. And therefore, I think that she's in a pretty firm position at this point, notwithstanding the guilty verdict.
Well, what about her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, okay? Amanda's Italian ex-boyfriend is in Italy. Okay, while she's home in Seattle watching the verdict, he was also found guilty. Now, Amanda told GMA she was devastated thinking about what he's going to go through.
He is vulnerable, and I don't know what I would do if they imprisoned him. Like, it's maddening.
Shortly after the verdict, Raffaele was stopped near the Italian border with Austria. He claims he wasn't trying to leave the country. Cops took his passport and told him, you, Raffaele, cannot leave the country. His lawyer said, he wasn't going to leave the country. Here he is leaving the police station. We're going to show you. I actually interviewed this young man on this show. He seemed to be like a very nice young man who was trapped in just a hellish miscarriage of justice.
I need a lot of help. I can't do this on my own, and I can't help people understand this on my own. Like, there are people who know better than I do the way these systems work, and the way that there was this entirely preventable thing that happened that was systematic.
Amanda's family, Dorothy Lucy, is out of money. They have spent every last cent that they have fighting for her. And when I was listening to her, it sounds like she's pleading for somebody, a lawyer, to step in and represent her for free because this is going to cost money. Fighting this, she might have to do something in the United States. She might have to hire an Italian lawyer. This is all very expensive.
And, you know, Jane, at some point, this might wind up on the president's desk. I mean, this could go to the White House deciding whether or not to extradite her. The president could have to decide about this. He could have to decide about Justin Bieber. Some of the things that he's going to be dealing with in the near future are a little odd. But I prefer the Eat, Pray, Love Italy. This, to me, this Italy is very scary. You have a prosecutor who said, I looked at her immediately and I knew somehow she was guilty. This is in the face of all sorts of evidence. It certainly makes it look like she is not guilty. But the prosecutor somehow decided immediately by looking at her that, yes, she was guilty. And now it's like, what are they going to do? Best of 7? I mean, this is just crazy.
It's crazy. It's like a bad stage play, not a criminal justice system. And remember, the guy who prosecuted her was convicted himself of prosecutorial misconduct for claiming in a previous case that it was all about a satanic ritual. The guy's obsessed with Satanism. It's crazy.